So we're good. Committee will come to order. Welcome to the post-crossover session of Grow It, Eat It, Pet It. The clerk will open the roll. All right, the clerk will close the roll. The quorum is present. The first bill in front of us is, we'll take Senator Boysko. I know you've got three and got to get to finance. So Senate Bill 11, actually you've got three. You can take them whatever
I got
order.
three.
I would recommend you take 1483 last.
Okay. You want 1483 last. Okay. Let's do 1125, the propagation of wildlife without and premature separation. I know that, Mr. Chair, we have corresponded a lot on this, and hopefully we'll have answered all of your questions. I have an amendment in the nature of a substitute.
If there is a substitute. Someone move the substitute? Thank you so much. And thank you, Senator, for working with us on this substitute. Go ahead and please explain the substitute to us.
Thank you. So this bill is about separating young wildlife born in captivity, so not cows or squirrels, but giraffes and other wildlife that you would find in a zoo. We added born in captivity on line 28. We also have broadened the language exempting accredited zoo facilities, including animals who are prematurely separated from their mothers for activities of accredited facility itself, not just transfers or trades. We created an exception for permitted wildlife rehabilitators who are subject to DWR's permit conditions. To clarify, the bill refers to animals in captivity only. We removed the little I, two I's, keep in-house or mammalian wildlife or different species of conditions in which they could propagate to address the concerns of the zoos and the safari-styled housing. No zoo has expressed any concern over this language, and accredited zoological facilities frown on this practice. So, as amended, SB 1125 would prohibit premature separation of the mammalian wildlife only, not birds, not reptiles, not fish, from the mother prior to the natural time of weaning that is appropriate for that species, absent any medical necessity pursuant to a written order from a veterinarian licensed to practice in the Commonwealth. The bill also makes it unlawful to intentionally breed wildlife for different mammal species or hybridization. This section of the bill exempts accredited zoological facilities as well as permitted wildlife rehabilitators. Most of us know that young mammals need to stay with their moms. We have seen challenges around this, and there's not a law currently in Virginia to address this, and that's where it came in. Captive exotic mammals suffer the same trauma when their mother-infant bond is separated.
Thank you, Senator. You want to just explain really quickly the hybridization piece, and then we can take questions from the...
Sure. So the bill also prohibits hybridization. You've all heard of ligers, lions and tigers being put together. This actually causes harm to the animal's genetic makeup as they move forward. Responsible zoos do not do this. It's unethical, it's profit-driven, it causes poor welfare, and there's no conservation value to the animal species itself. Experts agree that hybridization of species would never reproduce in the wild and can have negative effects on the offspring of psychological and developmental health. This bill has support from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the Animal Welfare Institute, the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance, Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, the Humane Society of the United States, Northern American Primate Sanctuary Alliance, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals Performing, Animal Welfare Society, and the Virginia Veterinary Medical Association, and many other experts in the field.
Thank you, Senator. I know we have a fairly long docket today. I feel like there is peace in the valley on this, and I'll yield to questions from the committee in a second. But could you raise your hand, please, if you're in the audience and you are supportive of this bill? All right. Is there anybody who is opposed to this bill? All right. We will take testimony then on the bill as it is. First, I'll yield to questions then from the committee. All right, Delegate Wilk, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would ask, at the beginning of your comments, you said something about zoos, and I missed exactly what you said. If you could repeat that, please.
Certainly. This section of the bill exempts accredited zoological facilities. So accredited zoos don't have to worry about this because they're already being good actors. Is that I used the word zoos a few times, so I'm not sure which one. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. At this point, we will take testimony. It looks like there's a fair number of folks out here, so if we could do if we could set 3 minutes for total testimony for, 3 minutes for against, and then just please be there. Please state your name, who you represent, and I do think on this one we'll probably end up with questions from the committee, so if everybody just take notes of who's speaking, that'd be great. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman Helmer and members of the subcommittee. My name is Daphne Nakminovich. I'm here on behalf of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, which is based here in Virginia. I'd like to also represent my colleagues at the Virginia Veterinary Medical Association, and in the event that she doesn't get to speak, the Virginia Alliance for Animal Shelters. I'll keep my comments brief. This is a bill that I've worked on very hard with ZAA-accredited facilities like the Metro Richmond Zoo, which reached out to Senator Boysko with some concerns. We then addressed additional concerns from other accredited facilities. This is a bill targeting bad actors that do things strictly for profit. Hybridization is frowned upon by accredited zoological facilities. We didn't get any pushback on a hybridization other than the housing part, which we then took out. And then I just want to very quickly let you know that this targets premature separation of animals like giraffes, lemurs, servals, tigers, who CVI, certificates of veterinary inspection, show that dozens of them have been shipped out in recent years, including to an auction in Ohio called Mount Hope auction, which was fined by the USDA, cited 69 times over the last few years, and is not in operation presently. And bad actors from our state, unaccredited facilities, were shipping baby animals to this auction. So just to give you an idea of what inspired this bill, I'm going to let my colleague speak, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Heidi Meinzer, and I'm with the Virginia Federation of Humane Societies. We support this bill. It has long been the law that unweaned companion animals are not offered for sale or adoption, and it's actually quite shocking that we have this issue, and we strongly support all aspects of this bill.
Thank you. We'll take we're going to take opposition. Before we do that, would the attorney just mind explaining what has been changed in this bill? I just want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what we are opposing or standing for from before.
Mr. Chairman, so the substitute makes some technical changes. So it lays out that, the general prohibition of prematurely separating the mammalian wildlife offspring. It added born in captivity, so it narrows it down to those types of offsprings. It has two romanettes that kind of separates the exception. On line 29, you'll see the first romanet is for a medical necessity, and then on line 30, you'll then see the other exclusion is for an activity described under the subdivision 2, which that language that excludes would start on 36 to 39. And then in subsection E, they took out the last part of the sentence that with regard to housing or keeping the animals.
All right. Thank you, Madam Attorney. I feel like this is a substantially narrower bill, okay, from what we had, and it is posted on LIS. All right, if those who are in opposition would please come up and testify, and you'll have 3 minutes, and please make sure we're speaking to the substitute.
Good morning. My name is Shirley Johnson, and I'm the president of Leesburg Animal Park in Leesburg, Virginia. We are not an accredited zoo, but we are a USDA licensed zoo as a Class C exhibitor. We've been in business since 2000 and have a very good reputation and relationship in our community. We are inspected by federal veterinarians enforcing compliance under the Animal Welfare Act. To ensure that our animals are healthy, the park has contracted with a zoo veterinarian, to care for our exotic and domestic animal collection. We also work with a local group of veterinarians to help with our care as well. Our curator is a licensed veterinary technician, and many of our staff have relevant degrees in various animal fields. I think sometimes this notion that you only are a good actor is if you're accredited, and I feel that that's unfair and somewhat biased. I really have trouble seeing the reason for this bill. I think most zoos and farmers would say they know their animals better than anyone, and that can determine their breeding schedules, and to bring in an outside agency is just government overreach. There already is, we have USDA license, and there's also a state license that's required as well. So we already have, a state license in place. My understanding is that PETA is behind this bill and that they just are ideologically opposed to really animals in captivity. So I feel like that's really the purpose of this, is just to shut down, facilities like ours. And I think there's some issues with the definitions as well of wildlife. I think there's a companion animal definition, a game definition, so I would like that to be looked at a little more closely. The hand rearing of animals, there's reasons that a decision can be made to hand rear an animal. Again, there's the mother rejects the young, or is physically incapable of raising it. We've had animals that aren't thriving that need to be pulled. To have a government agency, trying to work with when you're dealing with these situations, I feel are better left between us and our veterinarian. We also have ambassador animals that are used in education in the schools that do better, when they're desensitized to human contact. Sometimes also they're...
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right.
Was there anybody else here to testify in opposition to the bill? If you can just come up and state your name, which organization you're representing, and just like one sentence about why you oppose the bill.
Yes, I'm Louis Waskey. I'm a resident of Virginia. I'm the president of the American Federation of Aviculture. Also, I'm a member of United States Association of Reptile Keepers and the Virginia Animal Owners Alliance. These organizations all oppose this bill.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That it?
That's it. We ran out. We used all 3 minutes in the opposition. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and board members. My name's Abbott Hoffman. I am the regional director for the Mid-Atlantic region of the American Federation of Agriculture, and I oppose this bill. It is poorly written and oversteps boundaries.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. All right. I yield to questions from the committee. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, there's a lot of folks online, quite a few folks online. So why don't we go ahead and set 3 minutes for those who want to speak for the bill. Okay. Ms. Adams, are you on?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
But before testimony,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, with the chair's indulgence, could we encourage folks to realize that the 3 minutes is for all of them?
Yeah, 3 minutes is for 3 minutes is for everybody, so please don't take everybody's time up. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Ms. Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm with the Virginia Alliance for Animal Shelters. We have a lot of expertise with animals. We deal with a quarter of a million animals every year, and we strongly support this bill. It's needed. Ownership does not constitute the ability to do whatever you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Ms. Crow, are you on? I see you. Please turn on your camera, Ms. Crow, before testifying. It's one of the rules of the chamber. Thank you very much. You go ahead.
Hi, good morning, Chairman and members of the committee. I represent the Humane Society of the United States. And we strongly support this bill, and I will just support and reflect the comments of our partners, the Virginia Federation of Humane Societies and PETA. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. The clerk, you can go ahead and reset the timer, please. I see we have Ms. Krosky here to testify against. Ms. Krosky, please turn on your camera and go ahead, and remember the 3 minutes for everybody. Ms. Krosky, are you able to turn on your camera? Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. My name is Heidi Krosky, and I represent the Virginia Animal Owners Alliance. We are asking you to please oppose this bill. It's built on misconceptions. One thing that has not been discussed is that many of the animals that are bottle raised spend their entire lives at the facilities where they are born. And so please do not believe the idea that we are cruel to these animals in any way. And we ask you to please vote against this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Krosky. Ms. Nguyen? I do not see Ms. Nguyen on. Is that correct? All right. Ms. Schaefer, please turn on your camera and go ahead. Mr. Schaefer. Apologize.
Okay, this guy's the same. Mr. Schaefer. Hey, Sean Schaefer, Executive Director for the North American Deer Farmer Association, also a Board of Director for the U.S. Animal Health Association. And I apologize for coming on this late. I just got called on this a couple of weeks ago. I'm kind of looking, and I haven't been able to get out there and see you in person. But I want to thank you for the opportunity to comment. You know, I'm just taken back. I'm not sure. I've heard from some groups that are truly anti-agriculture in here. You know, where are the agriculture groups? Where are those people that truly do and deal with animal husbandry? We've been bottle feeding and raising animals for, you know, centuries. You know, our forefathers, I mean, it's what's been done to domesticate animals, and it is done in the most humane ways. There is nothing cruel about this. Heck, even in the human form, some babies are raised, put on a bottle, you know. So, and we don't go ask for a doctor's permission before we do it, you know. So I would just ask you to give consideration to this. As to the true animal husbandry part of this, people do an excellent job at raising these animals. We heard testimony earlier that this is going to stop animals from going to this auction barn in Ohio. They'll just wean them and take them there. This doesn't stop that. And it's not against the law. People are not breaking the law by taking that. It's a legal action. People are allowed to, this bill permits people to raise animals, but why would it not permit them to raise them, you know, with normal animal husbandry practices? So like I said, I'm a little confused at this, but I don't understand why you would step in and stop a normal animal husbandry practice. So I would just ask you to vote no on this. It's a bad bill, and it's missing a lot of true science-based animal practices. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. All right, at this point, I'm happy to turn it over to questions from the committee. Delegate Laufer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask the patron if she could address the bottle feeding. That is something. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Delegate Laufer. In the amended version that you should have before you on line 32, it says that if a medical necessity exists pursuant to an order by a veterinarian, you know, for activity described, in the case of a medical necessity, all reasonable efforts shall be made to safely reintroduce the separated offspring with his mother following any premature separation. So it specifically gives that ability for you to bottle feed it if necessary. I would also like to just point out with some of the questions that were raised or concerns were, there's already standards in the code that talk about display of wildlife by elementary and secondary schools teachers for educational purposes. We already have that in the code. That is not touching it. Birds and reptiles are not included in this bill whatsoever. And I would be happy if our expert would like to address any other technical questions that you will have, but I'm happy to answer any more that you have.
Thank you. I would actually ask if for I know our experts up there, if that'd be okay. Can you explain a little bit about the difference between the accredited and USDA certification that we heard some testimony about earlier from the Leesburg Zoo? I guess what they were saying is that this exempts anybody who is accredited. And can you just talk a little bit about the difference between accreditation and what
Happily, Mr. Chairman. So accreditation is a choice that the zoos make to meet certain standards. There are two main accreditors. That's the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and I think the ZAA, Zoological Association of America. These accrediting agencies require certain standards to be met. And when a facility is not accredited, just because they have USDA permit doesn't mean very much. The USDA Animal Welfare Act, as we saw within Vigo, is poorly enforced, has very, very meager requirements, and does not address what we saw at the Natural Bridge Zoo, which was premature separation, back-to-back breeding of, for example, the giraffes, where the babies were taken away at as young as 2 weeks of age to be shipped across state lines, where the experts testified in court that the physical condition of the giraffes was very clearly a physical condition of animals who were bred back to back. And I think with your, thanks to some of the questions that you had asked me, I did reach out and I had spoken to some of the stakeholders that are accredited, and they very much frowned upon the practices that this bill addresses. So there are a number of unaccredited facilities that do send animals to that auction, and that auction was acting illegally, which is why it's now closed by the federal government. So I think there's a lot, it's much deeper than was portrayed by the testimony.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any further questions from the committee? I don't see any. With that, the committee operates by motion. I think it would go ahead.
Move to report.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded to report this bill with a substitute. The clerk shall open the rolls. The clerk shall close the rolls. The bill reports on a vote of 6-4. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Senator, I have an impolite question, which is, do you need to go chair anything right now?
I don't have to right now. I can.
So Senator Reeves, sitting patiently behind you, has to go chair Gamvik momentarily. Would it be okay if we let him go?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Is that fine?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have appreciate the courtesy. I have Senate Bill 1495. Mr. Chairman, with the onslaught of, we've had some different diseases break out through birds, through pigs, and now we have it coming through cows. This was brought to me from one of my constituents. I worked with DEQ, but basically all this does is it allows bovine to be added to the code section along with poultry and swine and dealing with incinerators. The incinerator is the most effective method when it comes to destruction of pathogens and offers a consistent manner of disposal to farmers versus composting them or burying them out in the back 40 with a backhoe and a risk coyotes getting them and everything else. Incinerators also reduce the chance of groundwater contamination that comes with burial and composting, and it provides flexibility to our farmers across the Commonwealth and reduce the spread of disease. So I have DEQ here if you have any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee at this time? All right.
Actually, I do. Just to confirm, this, if this is accepted, we would still would be allowed to compost cattle?
Mr. Chair, Delegate, yes. This just adds incinerators to the rule. Bovine incinerator, excuse me.
And Senator, just a quick follow-up question to that. Would adding this exemption in prohibit DEQ from conducting inspections or citing someone who was causing air pollution for whatever reason as a result of doing it? All right.
No, in fact, they helped me they helped me get the language, DEQ did.
All right. DEQ, would you like to come up and just tell us a little bit more about this bill? We got somebody here. And can you just address the concern of, like, specifically how we're making sure that these things burn cleanly?
Sure. Mike Rollman, Director of DEQ. Chairman, what this does is provide an exemption. It already exists for birds, for poultry and for swine. It happened with the bird flu epidemic many years ago and the swine flu epidemic. It's starting to have a problem in cows now, in bovines. So a farmer has written to many members and complained because we require a permit. So this would exempt them from that permitting process. So we would not have any regulatory authority. The benefits of this is that if this outbreak continues and expands, we would be delaying public health and causing a public health problem.
Thank you. And just to clarify, you're saying, so we already have this exemption for poultry and swine.
Correct.
Okay. And as far as DEQ knows, have we had any contamination or other pollution events related to this?
None that we know.
All right.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right. So the purpose behind the bill is, from my understanding, similar. So when we have like a poultry outbreak of avian flu, we incinerate all of the birds and, cook them and make sure that the disease doesn't spread. So is this I guess a preemptive move in case we have, say, a dairy herd or something that gets infected? Is that the idea behind the bill?
Mr. Chairman, Delegate Weber, exactly. And as a cattle rancher yourself, a lot of our dairy farmers lose a lot of cows. Anywhere from 12, I've been told 12 to 15, depending on, and it can go up to depending on the size of the herd. That's a lot of animals to get rid of on a farm. And it's the most efficient and effective and clean way to make sure we don't have disease and contamination.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there anybody here besides DEQ to testify? Please stay close because I think there might be questions from there. Just hang tight there. Is there anybody here to testify in support of this bill? All right. DEQ did a great job. Is there anybody who's opposed? All right. Well, you got a lot of environmental community here, none of whom are raising their hands. That's good news for you. All right. With that, are there further questions from the committee? All right. The committee operates by motion. It's been moved and properly seconded to report this bill. The clerk will open the rolls. This bill reports, clerk will close the rolls. The bill reports on a vote of 9-1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Pass my regards to the rest of Gamvik. All right, Senator Boysko, thank you for letting us, for indulging us for a moment to do that.
Yes, thank you. And I did look at my calendar. I have a schedule to go talk to the to the pages at 10 after 8. So I'll try to hurry through this, but I think this next bill is in good shape. SB 1127 has some small technical amendments.
Okay.
And council can explain. I think they are really just technical in nature.
Mr. Chairman, there are about 7 line amendments, and they are technical. We're adding a comma on line 38 after reports, and we're adding a comma on line 40 after warning. We're changing information to documents throughout subsection C, and then adding final before, agriculture on line 38. And then on line 46 after facility, striking the remainder of line 46 and through under on line 47, insert may redact information contained within such documents in accordance with.
All right, thank you very much.
Move the amendments.
They've been moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. The amendments, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. All right, Senator, I know you have worked difficultly on this. I feel like there is generally peace in the valley. If you wanted to give like a one sentence on what this is, and then we can
Certainly.
ask for hands.
This is a sunshine bill for our labs at our universities. We had a work group over the summer. This was really, everybody agreed that we needed to provide more sunshine. This bill achieves that. And I believe the schools are all in, there's peace in the valley here.
I feel like I've heard the same thing, Senator, so this just provides those inspection reports publicly that are being done, is my understanding.
That's correct.
We do like sunshine on this committee. It makes things grow. With that, are there questions from the committee? I don't see any. Is there opposition to this bill? Please raise your hand. Okay. Do we have opposition online that feels very strongly about testifying against this bill that seems like it's not generating opposition on the committee? Okay, they're all in favor of it. Okay, so since everybody seems to be in favor of it, if it's okay with the senator, I'm not going to take testimony in respect to your calendar. With that, are there questions from the committee? Okay, it's been moved to report. It's been properly seconded. Clerk will open the rolls.
This is a good bipartisan bill. Senator Stanley is my chief co-patron.
With the clerk will close the rolls. Senator Boysko and Senator Stanley's very fine animal bill reports on a vote of 10-0. All right.
Thank you. And I have one more bill.
Fine. All right. Senator Boysko.
I have one final bill. It is dealing with the selling of CBD, only CBD, off the campus of their normal brick and mortar location that they have registered with VDAX to sell at another specific location that they alert VDAX about. I have a constituent who has a brick and mortar CBD store. She sells no THC whatsoever, and she brought this to me after trying to work for months to work it out.
Thank you very much. Are there folks here to testify? Oh, sorry. Are there questions from the committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Delegate Will.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So you said you have a constituent that ran into problems. Was it, tell us just a bit about those problems that they encountered.
Certainly, Chair Helmer, Delegate Wilt. When we passed the hemp bill a couple of years ago, the language was silent on whether or not when you have a license you could go to a festival or somewhere else and set up a pop-up shop. There was no prohibition in the bill itself, and when she, trying to be a good steward and responsible business owner, did her license, inquired about it, she was told that she could not unless she paid another $1,000 anytime she tried to go off her property to go to sell elsewhere at a farmer's market or a festival or anything else. And it's too expensive for her. It's going to put her business down if we can't change this. So with the concerns around THC, we have limited so that it's only CBD, which I believe you can purchase CBD drinks at the grocery store. It seems to be common sense to me, and it would provide her the ability to, have her business. And again, when we passed the hemp bill a couple of years ago, it was silent on this piece.
Thank you. Would those who are here to testify in favor of the bill please come forward? All right, those opposed? All right, do we have, there is nobody online for this bill?
Mr. Chair.
Oh, someone's coming up. All right, go ahead. Are you testifying before or against the bill?
Against.
Against. Is there anybody here for, just to make sure I give a final? All right.
She's
gendered
not
only opposition. All right, come on. Come forward.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Nakia Thomas. I'm the program manager for the Office of Hemp Enforcement with VDAX. I'm testifying in opposition to the bill today. I think that this bill, while it has great effort to provide an opportunity for small businesses to expand their business, it does create a loophole for other businesses to use their registration and operate other establishments, brick and mortar establishments, as pop-up shops. And so our concern is that it limits VDAX's ability to properly regulate these retail establishments that sell these products. In addition to that, we have a number of temporary festivals and a number of temporary events that occur not only in Richmond, but in the entire state. And our resources are limited to ensure that the products that are sold at those festivals and temporary events are safe for human consumption. If this bill were to pass, it would give VDACs a very difficult time to ensure that the products that are offered for sale at those temporary events would be safe for human consumption and ensure that it would limit our ability to respond to any inquiries or any illnesses that may occur as a result of ingesting those products. So that's our official position.
I appreciate. Can I ask a? I'll tell you in a second. Just a question for the chair for a second. So just, I know the bill as it was engrossed talks about making sure there's not THC in the products. What does it do in terms of Delta 8, other high-inducing components? How does that interact with our cannabis, our CBD definition, which, having dealt a lot with that in this committee and others, it's actually quite broad, right? Our CBD definition is broad. So can you just tell us, like, is Delta 8, would products containing Delta 8 be permissible under this bill? Because my understanding is they're permissible under the current license. Like, how does that interact?
So the way that the bill is written, it would not be permissible. What it would do is open up a loophole. So if an establishment does sell products that have THC in it, and then they notify VDACs within 14 days of a temporary event that they will be participating, VDACs would only be notified of their presence at the temporary event. We would not have the ability to look at the products that they would potentially sell at the temporary event. And so the registration allows a retailer to sell CBD products and THC products, but it doesn't prohibit anyone from, currently the way that it is set up, it doesn't prohibit anyone from selling at temporary events. It just requires that they apply for a new registration.
Okay, thank you. Did you have a follow-up question?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
So how many establishments do you have to currently inspect?
We have over 1,200 establishments, and we just started doing inspections September of 2023.
Further question, Mr. Chair? Go ahead. How many people do you have doing the inspection?
We have only 8 inspectors for the entire state of Virginia.
Okay.
So, follow-up. I have a follow-up question. So those 8 inspectors now, I think what I'm hearing from you is one of the VDAC's challenges. You'd have 8 inspectors who now have to go to the farm markets as well and confirm that folks are in compliance if we were to pass this, whereas right
Correct.
now you basically have over 100 facilities per inspector that you're just confirming that they're following the rules.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
So your biggest concern is, while we understand that Senator Boysko's constituent is a true law-abiding citizen, you're concerned that other folks are not.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Are there further questions from, thank you. Stay close just in case, but are there further questions from the committee? All right, seeing none, Senator Boysko, you get the last word, and then the committee will raise my motion.
I mean, we have tried to work through this all fall with VDACs and appreciate her effort. This is going to close my good steward constituents' business, likely, which is not, I think, what we wanted to do, but yeah, the facts are the facts. But again, the people who are trying to do the right thing are the ones who are being punished in this process. Seems like we could, have ABC work collaboratively. I mean, it feels like we should be able to find a solution to this.
Thank you, Senator.
It's frustrating for her.
It does sound deeply frustrating. I get the sense of what's going on up here. If this bill does not move forward favorably, I'm sympathetic to what the senator described. I do think we should move it with a letter from the chair to make sure that we study this issue and figure out where the solutions might be, since we have a lot of, it seems like, good stakeholders who want to get there.
Thank
so
you.
The committee operates by motion.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we table the bill and do the letter that if the chair would be willing to.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded to lay the bill on the table with a letter from the chairman to engage VDACs in a study of how to do this. That is not a debatable motion. The clerk will open the rolls. The The bill is tabled on a, clerk will close the rolls. The bill is tabled on a vote of 10-0. Thank you, Senator.
I appreciate the thoughtful conversation today. Y'all have a good day.
Yes, so I've talked to, we can do Senator Salim's bill right now. I've talked to the senator. He understands what we're going to do with this bill. So at this moment, I would ask that I would entertain a motion to table Senate Bill 916 with a letter from the chairman asking that we conduct, the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services conduct a study of the underlying legislation. So moved. It's moved and properly seconded to lay SB 916 on the table with a letter from the chairman of the Committee on Agriculture. The clerk will open the rolls. The clerk will close the rolls. Senate Bill 916 is tabled on a vote, I think, of 11-0. With that, the committee will be at ease momentarily while we try to track down some patrons. All right. We're going to consider SB 1000, Senator Stewart's bill. Delegate Weber, can you go ahead and explain this bill to us, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, what his bill does is that it simply increases the value of the compensation for if an animal is killed by a dog. So for livestock, it goes from $750 to $1,000. For fowl, it's 10 to 25, and Mr. Chairman, it's simply a matter of economics. Those animals are more expensive now, so they need to be compensated as such.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Delegate Weber. Are there folks here to testify in support of the bill? Please come forward.
Mr. Chairman, Jake Tabor, Virginia Farm Bureau. We support the bill.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, Brad Copenhaver on behalf of Virginia Agribusiness Council. We also support it.
All right, thank you very much. Those who are opposed to the bill, please come forward. All right, I do think we have some opposition online, although it seems to have dropped off. They're coming on? Okay. There's just nobody coming? Okay. All right, they've declined to come in. I do have one person that was noted as for and one as against. With that, the committee seems not to have, oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wondered, there's a lot of backyard chicken coops, and, my dog may have run afoul of one of them or two of them. So I'm wondering, what are we, foul? Yes. What about the backyard chicken coops that are not really a livestock type? Thank you.
Madam, I'm the chair. Let me think about who is going to answer that. We haven't done this. We haven't done this before. So, Delegate Weber, as tag you're it, can you go ahead and answer the other delegate?
It's been a while. So depending on the But depending on that, then I think we had a whole bill about dangerous dogs on this stuff too. Seriously, like if it breaks out and then kills a bunch of chickens, it counts as a dangerous dog and some other stuff.
Or
Tell
what
your
if
dog not to
or
eat
what
the
if the
chickens. That's
chicken
what I'm hearing.
comes to your yard and
Well, that's a chicken's problem. Chicken
I'm
didn't
just
need to
wondering
cross the
though.
road.
All right. If the chicken crosses the fence.
So, hold on.
Did you have something to
We'll
add to
phone a
this?
friend.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know that I have a ton to add other than to say that livestock is defined in the code and poultry is livestock, no matter if it's in a backyard or if it's on a commercial farm. Yeah.
I mean, you're paying $25 for the chicken. Seems reasonable.
Okay, I just want to say that there's a lot of backyard chicken coops, and will localities then be aware of this as a fine? Who's going to be?
That's the law.
It's. I think I'd answer the delegate just from where we understand the bill. There's already a fine. It's just $10. So we're just moving the fine from 10 to 25. So I think, and my guess is the last time we did this is probably inflation has probably caught us up to 25 too.
Eggs are really expensive now, Mr. Chairman.
I hear that. All right.
Some folks online now.
All right. We do have some folks online. We'll do 30 seconds per because it seems like this bill has we know where it's going to go. If Ms. Krosky, go ahead, please go ahead and testify and turn on your camera. Ms. Krosky?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the Virginia Animal Owners Alliance, we just wanted to say that it's a positive bill, and we ask that you would please.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Krosky. Ms. Adams, you have 30 seconds as well. Go ahead. Please turn on your camera. Ms. Adams?
Yes, sir.
If you could just please turn on your camera. Thank you.
Well, it's not letting me, but yes. The Virginia Alliance for Animal Shelters, I want to be careful. We're not opposed to the bill. However, our animal control officers are required to be involved in this, and this is somewhat more complicated, I'm afraid, than the committee is aware. This is unusual in that the taxpayer is compensating an owner for the loss of property. We sometimes are asked to find the dog. We are asked to establish whether or not it was the dog who did the killing. In many cases, our counties tell us that they are simply paying this without going after the owner of the dog. So it is a money bill. The budgets of animal control are where this money is vested. So I think it's worthy, and I've been to see the senator whom I admire. We may want to talk about this in the future. That's our position. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we go to East for a moment? Is there anybody here who can just discuss the mechanics of financing this? We know damage to this bill, but we also don't have time to send it to appropriations. I just want to make sure we're not committing a party foul.
Charlie Broad, a state veterinarian with VDAX. My understanding of the bill is, as Ms. Adams spoke, that the compensation does come from the localities for the animals that are killed.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have anybody here from VACO or VML who wants to speak to this bill? All right, well, it seems that Senator Stewart gets to skate on this one. With that, the committee operates by motion.
Move to report.
It's been moved to report and properly seconded. With that, clerk will open the rolls. Clerk will close the rolls. The bill reports 11-0. Thank you. With that, the committee will be at ease. We're waiting for one more. Oh, there he is, just as committee will not be at ease.
Good timing, dude.
Senator Stanley.
Never run so fast to get a bill killed in my life. Kidding. Hopefully.
Take your time, Senator Stanley. All right, go ahead. You have two before us, 1903 and 907. I would ask that we take up 907 first, if that would be okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, this bill seeks to ensure the humane treatment of our non-human primates that are used in state-operated testing facilities by allowing their release upon consultation to certified sanctuaries when they're no longer needed. That is, when their usefulness for experimentation has ended. It defines a certified sanctuary as a facility accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries and certified by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. This bill establishes a framework for transitioning these non-human primates to sanctuaries, allowing state agencies to enter into agreements with those facilities to implement the process. Yeah, as you all may remember, a couple years back, we found that there was a place in Cumberland that was breeding dogs for experimentation, beagles. This body, unanimously with the Senate, determined that we as a state, understanding that there may be a need for such experimentation, but also recognizing that when their usefulness is done, that as human beings, we should at least try to offer, especially these non-human primates, sanctuary so that they can live their lives out after having served us. I can tell you I had two in Vigo beagles that I paid for early on in the process. And the fact that they could feel grass or sunshine or have human contact that was not invasive but love was amazing. Now, non-human primates, we're only talking about a couple of chromosomes away from you and me, Mr. Chairman. But I think it is important for us as a state, as a policy, to say that if we spend the taxpayer money, hundreds of thousands of dollars in experimentation on these baboons, monkeys, that we should then, once they're done, try. It's not mandatory with the amendment, but try our best to make sure that they can live out the rest of their lives, maybe sitting under a tree, feeling that grass and that sunshine on their face. That's the bill, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Is there any questions? Are there questions? Delegate Runyon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Question of the patron, Mr. Chair. We have the word certified sanctuary. Is there a definition in the code of certified sanctuary? Is that a known entity? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
If the senator doesn't know the answer to that as well, we can turn to counsel. Would you prefer we turn to counsel?
That's fine. Mr. Chairman, I just know that we defined it in the code as this.
Okay.
We wanted to make sure that there were some guardrails that not everybody is a sanctuary. My backyard is a sanctuary to beagles, but not necessarily non-human primates.
Madam Attorney, would you mind answering that question to the best of your ability?
Mr. Chairman, certified sanctuary isn't a defined term in the code, but it's in the bill. It would be on line 14 through 16.
That answer, it's a new definition, it sounds like. Does that answer your question?
It does. Are those, a follow-up question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are those the only two agencies that would be certified? And is there any government oversight of those certifications, certified facilities?
Senator?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, there may be someone in the audience that could better answer that question. But the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries is the certifying body to make sure that any sanctuary in the United States and outside of the United States operates in a proper, just, and humane manner. So what we're saying is, rather than say just sanctuary, let's be more specific. Let's use a tool with the Global Federation that is equipped to know what a good sanctuary is and a bad sanctuary is. And the National Association of Zoos and Aquariums is a very austere and very well-respected organization. So we're not talking about some judgment call made by some organization that claims to know. These are organizations that have a reputation that these would be. And again, remember, it is also in consultation with them. So the school wants the institution of the Commonwealth of Virginia that experiments on these animals when the usefulness is over, they would then consult with this organization and then make a decision, and the decision rests with the institution of the Commonwealth to see if these non-human primates are, eligible for sanctuary retirement, and if so, then where?
Thank you, Senator. Next question. Okay. All right. With that, let's go ahead and invite those in support of the bill and opposition to the bill to please come up to the microphone. Yeah, we will put 3 minutes up. As a reminder, that is 3 minutes, not for the individual speaker, but for all those who are opposed or for a bill. And then we will do the same online. Welcome back.
Hi, good morning again, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Daphne Nekminovich. I represent People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I know the Virginia Veterinary Medical Association couldn't be here, and they support this bill as well. I'll spare you the details. I think the senator did a wonderful job of explaining the bill. I'm happy to answer questions, but we support it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman Helmer and members of the subcommittee. Heidi Meinzer with the Virginia Federation of Humane Societies. We strongly support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Those opposed? All right. Do we have the universities here? You guys all right with this? Nobody standing up to say no? Okay, great.
And Mr. Chairman, I would say that change that we made, that amendment that allows for the collaboration for these determinations to be made between the Institute and these organizations allowed them to support this bill.
Perfect. We have a lot of support online. So Ms. Adams, if you could, let's put 3 minutes up. That's again for everybody. Ms. Adams, if you could go ahead and turn your camera on, and you're welcome to speak your mind.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sharon Adams, Virginia Alliance for Animal Shelters. We are strongly in support of this bill. I would remind the committee that there are institutions across the country that already do this, and it's regrettable that we had to come to this body with this bill for a Virginia institution. We hope this will make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Ms. Crow, go ahead. Please turn on your camera. Perfect.
Good morning. Good morning. With respect for time, Cheryl Crow, Humane Society of the United States, I would just echo the comments of my colleagues and partner organizations, and we strongly support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there further questions from the committee? Seeing none, Senator, would the senator like a brief last word?
No, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the time and the indulgence of me not being here on time, so much appreciated.
The committee operates by motion. It's been moved and properly seconded to report SB 907. The clerk will open the rolls. All righty, the clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 7-2. Thank you, Senator Stanley. You get to close this up with Senate Bill 903.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Senate Bill 903 before you attempts to bring parity when it comes to our pet shops, and we have actually agreement and peace in the valley between the stakeholders, and I think you'll see that. But basically what it is it's requiring pet shops that we now to then also give notice to our VDACs of certain things about the pets that they bring into the shop. And of course, the bill itself allows them and requires them to take note and record on the date in which the dog, and this is about dogs, not cats, by the way, and that was part of the limitations, the date of making the record of that, the description of the dog, species, color, breed, age, and appropriate, the location of where the custody was taken, and the name and the address of the person from whom the dog was obtained, any license, rabies, tattoo collars, other identification mark carried by or appearing on the dog, and then the disposition of the dog. Those records would be made available for 2 years to the state veterinarian at the time of inspection upon the state veterinarian's request, and may be made available for review by the state veterinarian during that time period. Ladies and gentlemen of this committee, we require of our releasing agencies, the humane societies and such, to record this exact information. It helps us as a state better understand the disposition of our dogs. I'm very pleased that the pet shops and that industry have come to an agreement with us on this because it's simply this. We always say in the law, buyer beware, caveat emptor. But we should make sure, as we have through the years, stopped puppy mill importations, that we also make sure that the consumer, when they buy a dog, when they buy a breed, a purebred dog from this, understand where it came from. Because a lot of times what we see is that those are expensive dogs, and then at a time it comes down to the dog may be sick, there may be a genetic deform with the dog, those are expensive treatments. And what we're trying to do ultimately in that responsibility is making sure that these dogs don't end up in our pounds, in our releasing agencies. We are flooded with dogs right now, unwanted dogs, and we're trying to control that. But at the same time, this is a measure of accountability in an industry that I think is good for the industry, it's good for Virginia, and it's good for the consumer in Virginia who buys these dogs from these pet stores. And that's the bill, Mr. Chairman.
Are there questions from the committee? Yep, go ahead, Delegate Wilt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, there's some amendments. I'm sorry, Tony. There are some amendments. We've made further amendments with the pet shop industry that they had asked for that we made.
Clerk will report the amendments, please.
Pardon me, Mr. Chairman, I apologize.
Mr. Chairman, there are 7 line amendments on line 67 in gross after sex, insert and. On line 67 in gross after age, you're striking the remainder of that language on line 67 through weight on line 68. On line 73 in gross after dog, insert if not sold or if not managed in accordance with subsection B of 3.26511. On line 74 in gross after lease, strike 5, insert 2. On line 74 in gross after available, strike all the language on line 74 and through inspection on line 75. And insert to the state veterinarian at the time of inspection, or on line 75 in gross after B, strike submitted annually to, insert made available for review by, and finally on line 76 in gross after veterinarian, insert during inspection or upon request.
Just a couple of amendments.
Senator Stanley, could you please explain to us the practical impact of that large group of amendments?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I will. Basically, what we did was the pet shop community had asked that we strike weight, approximate weight, because weighing the dog, I guess, may or may not be something in terms of what the information would be kept by them. So any dog taken by them, we struck that. When you go down to line 73, the disposition of the dog, if not sold or if not managed, we struck records in accordance with the subsection. So that was merely just kind of a semantic amendment on line 75. We changed that just to set from 5 years to 2 years on the records keeping, so it wouldn't be so onerous to the pet shops itself. 2 years of records, and made available for not the public. So we struck public. And we made available to the state veterinarian at the time of the inspection upon request. State veterinarian VDAC's inspections, then they would have those documents available to them and not necessarily to the general public. And that instead of making the pet shop submit these records annually, we then on line 76 struck submitted annually and said that these records should be made available for review by the state veterinarian during inspection or upon request. That's pretty much, if I remember correctly, what we did.
Couple small things, Senator. Okay.
My apologies, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay, the amendment's been moved, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right. All those opposed? The amendments are before us. Delegate Runyon, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry to ask so many questions here today, but I am curious to know, and perhaps staff could answer the question, Mr. Chair. We have imposed civil penalties of $1,000 to $5,000 in this section. Are those civil penalties also the other releasing agencies subject to those civil penalties, or are we bifurcating how we're treating various groups?
Mr. Chairman, I can probably take a shot at this. My understanding is yes, it brings us in line with the pet shops with these, with the releasing agencies as well. Of course, also note how I crafted this in line 37. In determining the violation by VDACs, then of course, then also what must be taken into consideration is the demonstrated good faith of the pet shop to achieve compliance after notification of the violation. So it wouldn't be they would have notice, the ability to comply, and this is used as a tool of of prevention rather than of punitive nature. So what we're trying to do here is, look, we want them to comply, and if they don't, they'll be given notice. And when they're given notice and they comply and they try and to achieve that compliance, then I think taken as a whole, that would prevent even the fine. We want them to do right for the dog, for the consumer, and for themselves.
Well, Mr. Chair,
go ahead.
Follow up on that, and I do appreciate the patron working with all the interested parties. I understand y'all put an awful lot of effort in that, and I did recognize the issue of compliance/forgiveness on that. And do I understand it correctly that all groups that would be using or are eligible to receive these type of animals are subject to the same civil penalty status? Is that correct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I would answer the gentleman by yes. The intent is to apply to all pet shops that are registered, certified by VDACS in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and that handle in the sale of dogs, not cats, not parakeets, not parrots, not ferrets. Boy, that rhymed. And so it's really about dog sales. And so we even limited it down to that, to make sure that what we were trying to do, at one point we had dogs and cats, and the Senate took cats out of it. But yeah, it's to bring parity in line with the same reporting requirements as our releasing agencies, but at the same time to make sure that the consumer benefits from this bill as well.
Thank you very much. All right. Do we have anybody from VDACS here to speak to this? Just to understand the capacity to do this bill.
Oh, and Mr. Chair, in terms of the reporting requirements, to not create any fiscal impact upon VDACS, that's why we wrote the bill with the notice requirements.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Charlie Broadus, State Veterinarian. What's the question again, please?
So can you just speak to us a little bit about how you would enforce this, what it would look like, what the impact on all you all will be?
Certainly. It would be similar to what we do existing with private and public animal shelters. And that was the intent of the bill. We have 2 inspectors statewide that are responsible for performing all those inspections. But with the limitation of the bill to just pet shops selling dogs and cats, that number is 18. So we feel like we would be able to do that.
How many do they currently, like what is their current for those 2 inspectors for the entire state? How many do they do?
It's private animal shelters are several hundred, okay, plus the 18 pet shops now.
Okay. So, I mean, we would be adding quite a bit. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Those who are in favor of the bill, please come forward. Do 3 minutes for all those in favor.
Good morning, Heidi Meinzer with Virginia Federation of Humane Societies. There are over 400 shelters and rescues in the Commonwealth. 175 of them are our members. Regarding the civil penalty part of the bill, there are 110 public shelters and 51 private shelters that are inspected annually and that have been subject to these civil fines for many, many years. This is simply creating parity for these 18 pet shops in that front. Regarding the reporting, there are also 255 rescues that are home-based that are also report along with the private and public animal shelters. This does do some record keeping. It's not quite parity with what we have been doing for decades reporting, and we hope to build on this to get more parity, but we do appreciate the Senator's efforts in the compromise. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. I'm just going to echo Heidi's comments and say that we support the bill and we thank Senator Stanley for his work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I'm Darren Hayes, Spotsylvania Consulting on behalf of the Virginia Pet Advocate Alliance. We want to thank the patron for working with us on this bill, and we wanted to ensure that this bill focused on addressing the bad actors in our industry, and we believe this bill now does so. So we thank the patron.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of this committee, my name is David Foley. I own a pet store in Hampton, Virginia, and we sell dogs. Basically, we want to thank the sponsor of this bill that basically worked with us because the way it originally was written, it would put us out of business, but he's worked with us on this. So we want to thank him for that. And what it does is keep the bad actors out of the business, and that's what you're trying to do. So thank you very much. So we do support it.
Thank you very much. All right, online we have some folks testifying for the bill. If folks would, it sounds like there is generally peace in the valley, so if folks would just come on and state their name, whether they support or oppose the bill as amended, that would be great. Ms. Adams, you are first.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. The Virginia Alliance for Animal Shelters supports the bill. This record keeping has been a statute passed by this body since 2018. This is nothing new. It's just simple record keeping. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Sharp, is she on? Nope. Okay, Ms. Crow, same, please. Ms. Crow is dropped. Ms. Krosky, peace in the valley, but maybe not for you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Heidi Krosky on behalf of the Virginia Animal Owners Alliance. We are very thankful for the amendments to this bill. It's significantly improved it, but we do have concerns. If you look, I believe the language is still there about the increased authority that will be given to the Attorney General's office, which will be the Animal Law Unit. If you look at the Animal Law Unit's track record with licensed businesses, it's highly questionable at best. And so I hope we can have future conversations about the Animal Law Unit specifically. Thank you.
Thank you. It sounded like neutral. All right, Ms. Crow, go ahead.
Yes, back. Cheryl Crow, Humane Society of the United States. We support this bill and we appreciate the collaboration not only with the patron and but also with the stakeholders. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Senator Stanley, would you like the last word?
Mr. Chairman, I again appreciate the time of this committee and its kind consideration of this matter. We worked very hard with both sides to make sure that we could find something that would be agreeable and create that level playing field. I think you heard it from the pet shop owner himself. There are bad actors out there. We want to keep them out of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and this bill will go a long way to do that.
Pet shop owners came forward, said please pass their bill. What will the committee do?
Mr. Chair,
It's been moved to report, properly seconded with amendments. That's what I'm sure I heard the delegate say. Yep. So with that, the clerk will open the rolls. The clerk will close the rolls. The bill reports 11-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Stanley. All right.
Thank you for your time.
Everybody. The committee will rise.
Mr. Chairman.